All right, back again. Wimbledon semi-final number 2. I don't know how it's going to live up to that first one. That first one was an epic, pardon me. I don't know how it's going to live up to that, but we'll see what happens, because these two played a banger 2 years ago. And if it's anything like that, it will be better than the first match. But the winner of this will take on Anisimova, who's into the first final of her career in a Grand Slam and having a career best year. Career high ranking after this week. She's got a 1,000 event this year. She's just ticking all those boxes, Anisimova. And also a win over the world number 1 at a Grand Slam. I mean, that's a huge deal as well. But we'll see who she's going to play. These two played 4 times, 3-1 in favor of Swiatek, but the last time they played was 2 years ago before Bencic had a baby. And it was a match point saving win for Swiatek, who then ended up losing in the next match. But she did get the win. It was a very epic 4th round. So let's see. We're getting a new Wimbledon champion. I think that's been the case for like a week now, but now we have 3 players one of them's going to win Wimbledon. Previous match was amazing. Oh yeah. So everything you wanted. I mean, we've been talking about how like there hasn't been any really good matchups. Yeah, there's been some good matches in the last like week, but that by far was the best match. Made us forget about everything that hasn't happened in the last couple of matches. All right, but let's see what this match can do. Bencic and Anisimova final. I mean, look, Wimbledon has random finals. That would be not super random, but it wouldn't be the final we expected at the start of the tournament. So let's see. Let's see if Swiatek can make the final of Wimbledon, or if Bencic can make her first Grand Slam final. All right. Yeah, Sabalenka losing to American players. Brutal. 3 different ones as well. Anisimova and Swiatek have never played? What? That's so weird. Is that true? That's so crazy. That's crazy. Swiatek is a great player. I'd love to see her make the final. Okay. Are the US women going to sweep the Grand Slams this year? I mean, look, unless Swiatek, I don't know what Bencic and Anisimova's record is, but I think Swiatek's the only one that can. And then again, I don't know. Maybe Bencic can stop Anisimova, but I think Swiatek's experience at the moment, out of the 3 that are left, is the big one. You know, her experience at Grand Slams and winning Grand Slams. She knows how to win them. Her finals record at Slams is ridiculous. Is it 5-1? I think it's 5-1. Let me go through some stats while we wait for them to come out of court. So, Bencic, second Grand Slam semi-final. She made the semis of the US Open back in 2019, lost to Andreescu back in the day. First, an unseeded player in Wimbledon final, Wimbledon semis for the 4th year in a row. Can anybody name the other 3? 4th year in a row that we've had a semi-finalist, unseeded semi-finalist. Can you name the other 3? I'm trying to think. I can't remember 21, 22, 23, 22. Oh yeah, 20. I can remember. Okay, yeah. But can you remember? Looking to become the second Swiss woman into a final of Wimbledon since Martina Hingis. And started the year at number 489 in the world. And now it's going to be in the top 20 no matter what happens. Raducanu didn't make the semis of Wimbledon. Swiatek, 9th Grand Slam semi-final. In semi-finals of Grand Slam, she has a 5-3 record, including losing her last semi-final to Sabalenka at the French. She's made all the semi-finals this year. 3 in a row, which is a big deal. And Sabalenka and Swiatek, by the way, the first duo to make 3 Grand Slam semi-finals together in the same season since Ennen and Clijsters back in 2006. But, you know, that's fun. Also, her lowest ranked loss at a semi-final was against Collins, who was 30 in the world in 2022 Australian Open. So, Bencic wins. She is the lowest ranked player to beat Swiatek in a semi-final of a major. So there you go. Also, the first Polish woman to make the semi-finals or better at every single... Sorry, Polish player to make the semi-finals or better at every Grand Slam. Swiatek. Polish GOAT. So yeah. So that's what's going on. All right. Swiatek to take Wimbledon. This would be epic. That would be epic, wouldn't it? And then she'd only have to win the Australian Open and complete the set, which would be kind of interesting. Vekic, Vondi, and Svitolina. I think so. Vekic last year? Was it not Krejcikova last year? No. Maybe? No. Vondi the year before for sure. And then maybe Svitolina. Yeah, Svitolina back in 22, right? Or 23, sorry. 23? No, 22. Djokovic didn't practice today. He had scheduled 2-hour workout and cancelled. Oh, okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. That's interesting. That is interesting. At start of main draw, I predicted Swiatek and Djokovic to win Wimbledon. Okay, nice. Nice one. Wasn't 22 Maria? Maybe it was. Let me check. I can just check. Why don't I just check? So Bencic this year. Last year it was... last year was Vekic. Krejcikova was almost unseeded. She was 31. And then the year before that was Vondi and Svitolina. And then the year before that, in 22, it was Tatiana Maria. You're right. So yeah, so the Svitolina and Vondi were both unseeded in the semis together. But you're right, Maria was in 22. So this is the fourth year in a row that Wimbledon's had an unseeded semi-finalist. US Open predictions, Sinner and Sabalenka win? Okay. Maybe. I think I picked them to win, didn't I? Darren!
We won't have two upsets today, Iga locked.
Yeah, I hope this match isn't a... I mean, we had a great match in the first one, so I mean, if we don't have a good match now, it's like, you know, we were so good with that first match. That first match was great, but it would be disappointing if this match was like a flop. You know, it'd be disappointing not to have at least a competitive. It might not be as good as the first match, but competitive. Cam is US Open as fast as Cincy? No. Cincinnati is lightning quick. All right. All right. Just waiting for the players to come out of court and then we can get going. In the meantime, I went to the PO box and there were postcards. So let's go through the postcards on for today because there was a lot of postcards. So thank you everybody who sent a postcard. If you want to send a postcard or peanut butter jelly M&Ms, there is the PO box down below. Starting with this one. Now, chat, that doesn't look like me, does it? Kind of does. Self-portrait. Actually, no, self-portrait would be done by me, right? This is 5-3, and then we get a winner from Sinner. There we go. I say that. Does that look like me? Kind of. Kind of. And on the back it says... Wait, is this... Oh, hang on. Hang on, is it meant to... Oh, I don't want to break it. And it says, thanks, Cam, from Heidi. So shout out to Heidi for the lovely postcard / portrait. Did it come with anything else, or was that it? I think it was it. I think that was it. All right, next one is from New Mexico. New Mexico State Parks in America. Ola Cam, you are tennis highlight. Thank you from Lynn. So shout out to Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, for the lovely postcard. The next one is from Texas. And this one says, enjoy, Cam, stay safe. It doesn't have a name on it. Oh, no, Loretta. So thank you, Loretta, for the Texas postcard. Appreciate that. And the next one, I think this is 2 cards. So here's the card. Whoop. Players about on court any second. There's a card, and it comes with a couple of... it says here, time to watch some tennis. We know you're excited. I am. And then here is another. I think this is a post. Is this the card? It says Visa on it. I don't know what that means. Cam the man, greetings from Thailand. So there we go. So thank you for that. And I think these are all the same. So it says here, Cam the man, enjoyed watching the French Open with you. Great job to you both. Neil and Visa from Florida to Thailand. Thank you for that. It says, I was at the 82 French Open. Your knowledge and input great. My backhand sucks, so I passed to my left hand. Any ambidextrous players, I wonder. Take care. Hope Fido likes his card. From Neil and Visa. So thank you for that. I don't know who Fido is, but I like this. That's Fido, right? So thank you for the cards. Appreciate that. And the last one, chat, is from Dublin. And this one says, hello from Dublin. From Angela. So shout out to Angela. And by the way, chat, speaking of, I went to the PO box and look what arrived. The ugliest winner's shirt of all time. It's added to the collection. We got it, chat. We got it. Alcaraz's 5th Grand Slam winning shirt. So thank you. Appreciate that. That is... they didn't sell them here. These are not available in Australia. I'm the only one who has one, probably. Maybe not. Maybe someone else does. But finally, the Alcaraz shirt coming out of Europe via the chat. We got it, chat. We got it. It's not ugly. It's not ugly. What are you talking about? It is ugly. It's like a off-white as well. I thought it was anyways. So that is it. All the Alcaraz shirts are now... We have the completed set. I'll put all those postcards on the wall when we have a chance. Probably tomorrow or the next day. So stay tuned to keep your eyes out for that. But if you want to send a postcard, there it is. Link down below. And the address is there. If you send them now, they'll get here by the US Open. So then you can add your card to the wall as well. But thank you, everybody who sent the postcards. And, again, we got the Alcaraz shirt, which was very, very thankful for that. All right. Who sent the shirt? Gran, who is in the chat every now and again, sent the shirt. So that's very nice. Very helpful. Very helpful. So now all the Alcaraz shirts. I still got to find a way of just I don't know how I'm going to display them without having I don't want to buy a bunch of framed shirts that I don't have enough walls. So I need to figure out a way to display the shirts. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Unless I put 3 shirts in one frame, Like I fold them in a way that I can show all the shirts in like 3 in 1, and then the more he wins, the more frames I get. I don't know. He's winning all these slams very quickly, so. Also, I cannot find the Wimbledon shirt. So if he does win Wimbledon, I think the Nike Wimbledon shirt's already been sold out, which is kind of frustrating, but I don't think I can get it in Australia, or maybe it was in Australia, but now it's sold out. I don't know. I don't even know if this is the same one because it doesn't have the tick on the back of the shirt. So I don't know. If he wins Wimbledon, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to go on a mad run around looking for this bloody shirt again. every tournament, I just can't find these shirts. Yeah, I don't think it's not even on the website. I can't find these shirts. Alcaraz shirts are like just insane. Impossible to find. Players are coming out in about 5 minutes. Lay them on the couch? Hell no. I want to store them in a safe place. I don't know. Maybe I could get like little frames, like box frames, maybe. And players are coming out right now, by the way. I don't know. I could probably get I could fold them because all you need to see is sort of like the collar and the. I mean, to be honest, the design of that one and the design of the US Open shirt are the only ones that are like got patterns on them anyway. All the other ones are either white or they're blue. Now, I don't want to put them on a rack. I want to put them behind a frame, like in a frame behind like protective. I'm thinking of putting them getting like square, because I can put a bunch of like square boxes on the wall. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I just need 2 seconds to figure it out. Buy mannequins for one each of them. No. What are those sneakers in the display cabinet? Those? Some Rod Lavers, Naomi Osaka shoes, and then Coco Gauff. Hang them from the ceiling. Man, I got to think of. I got some ideas. I just got to figure out how to fold them. To make them into like a square design that I can I can put them in a box in a frame. Yeah. Because I do have frames that I could put them in. Players are walking out, by the way, or walking through the back. Oh, that's interesting. Some people are putting some put cardboard, and then wrapped it around cardboard, a piece of square cardboard, and it kind of kept its shape, and then they put it. That's a good idea. You can open a store in a few years. No, these are for display only. These are memorabilia. Something like this. Something like this. Put them in something like this. That could work. Maybe. Might be too big, though. That could work. Because it's all about the pattern. Yeah, put them in a box frame. Then put them on the wall. could work. Need a bigger frame? No, because if I get big frames, then I don't want to do that. That's the point. I want a small frame. Because if I get a big frame, then I'm just gonna have a bunch of like frame shirts that I don't have walls to put on. Like these I can fit like at least 20 of these on a wall. No, if I do that, no, I don't want to do the big. No, you guys missed the point. I don't want a bunch of these frames full of shirts. That's by the way, everyone does that. It's boring. Chad, I can't fit any. Look how many frames I already have. I don't have any room to put 5 Alcaraz shirts plus more that he wins. Right? Let's say he wins 10 slams. I'm screwed. That's why the small ones are good because you can see the pattern. That's all you need to see. You don't need to see the arms and the whole shirt. You just need to see the stripes. You don't need the whole shirt. You know what it is. Buy a bigger room. Okay. You need a small plaque underneath saying what year and so. Yeah, exactly. That's a great idea. I love that. Put like a little plaque next to it on each one saying 2022 US Open. Yeah, like that's great. Even like maybe a little photo of him holding the trophy. Like that's the shit that I'm thinking, right? Instead of doing like these big frames that I just don't have anywhere to play. Like I don't want to do these things when I don't have anywhere to put them. I'd rather do little ones. It's little ones that I can actually like put them on the wall and I can put a whole bunch of them on. Matches, we're getting ready now. I'm thinking of like little photo with a little like maybe even just like a little like Polaroid kind of looking photo, and then just some like US Open 22, and then him holding the trophy, and then put that like next to it, like inside the frame with it. That'd be cool. That'd look cool. Because I've also got Nadal and Nadal and Federer shirts too. So I'll figure out how to put those up as well. All right. Put them all on and take one out in each and keep cycling. No. I don't want to do that. That is a waste of time and space. What, am I just going to put like the other 7 shirts hiding, like put them away, hide them away? No, I want to have them all displayed. I didn't buy them to put them on a shelf or put them in a cupboard. I want to put them on the wall. So I think that's the best way. That frame, that shirt, and then a little photo with the text of what it was, where it was. That's what I'm going to do. Because I've got 5 of Alcaraz shirts. I've got 1 Nadal and 1 Federer. Do I have 1 or 2 Nadal? 1 or 2? I don't know. And then those square ones, I can put like heaps of like 20 of them on the wall. All right, chat. We got there in the end. We did it! Yay! Let's just hope Alcaraz doesn't win this year as well, because then I'll be screwed because I can't. I can't find the Alcaraz shirt for this year. So hopefully he doesn't win this year, because then I'll be scrambling for shirts that I can't find. Do you have a Swiatek jersey? No, I don't. I'm just being. It's only because I got the Alcaraz one first. But if I start I don't want to get in that. I don't want to get in the habit of getting every shirt for every person, because it's just like, first of all, it's very expensive and very hard to find. I'd rather just focus on one player, and that player is Alcaraz right now. I can't find the Sinner shirts; they're hard to find, and I'm already behind with Swiatek, so it's too hard. I never hear a player cutting a hole in their shoe because of a broken toenail. Wait, who did that? Are you talking about Bencic or Swiatek? Who did that? I think Bencic had a bad foot, didn't she, the other day? Yeah. US Open, Raducanu US Open kit prices are crazy. Yeah, that would be, because, yeah. I'm sure it is. I mean, it'd be like the Coco Gauff outfit when she won the US Open as well. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking here, like, Federer 2009 US Open, even though he lost, it's still $200 for a shirt. I mean, Nadal, Federer, Djokovic stuff is crazy hard to find. Like, trying to find things after the fact is very hard. That's why you got to try and find them when they happen. But Alcaraz is very hard to... I mean, I don't even know how much these are. Like, I've got 5 Alcaraz shirts. I don't even know how much they would be now. Let me check. Alcaraz US Open shirts, $225, $321. One that's signed is $1,500. $330, $450, $300. And these ones, some of these aren't even the shirt that he... These are like the alternate shirts. So like the $300 one is not even the shirt that he wore. It's the other version of it. Yeah, the $225 one is the version that he... The alternative version. The one that he won in is, yeah, they're over $300. But I got one, so it doesn't matter. I got one. You must have a lot of expendable income. No, not really. Like I buy these shirts, like for the Alcaraz ones, the last couple I've bought for like normal price, like $90 Australian because they were on the websites, but yeah. Also, I mean, I don't do anything, so I don't buy anything. I collect. Collecting this stuff is what I spend besides bills and trying to live. It's not expendable income. It's just like, I got some extra money. I'm gonna just like people do, go on holidays and stuff. I buy tennis shirts apparently. All right, chat. Who's gonna win this one? But I've got a little bit of a Alcaraz collection going on, and I feel like he's a good player to build a collection around, All right, chat, who's going to win this one? Who is going to win this match? I've gone Swiatek, but I also picked Sabalenka, so who cares? Yeah, I buy $1 DVDs at a thrift store. You think if I got money, why wouldn't I be buying 4K DVDs from the actual store? All right, backhand to backhand rally. And that's a winner from Swiatek to start us off. Bench is going to serve. Demario.
Iga won't a better chance to win Wimbledon after this year. Also, hi Cam, how are you doing? I'm on my vacation.
Nice.
2 weeks of rest and back to work.
Hey, Demario, enjoy the vacation. Yeah, I agree. This is Swiatek's best chance, for sure. Might be her only chance. Who knows? Alona, thank you for the donation as well.
2 sets and rest before winning final.
Thank you, Demario, again for the donation. Swiatek 30 love. Donna.
Great call on the Anisimova vs Sabalenka match and all the matches.
No worries.
You make covers super fun. So glad I found your channel.
Hey, thank you, Donna, for the $10 and the nice words. Appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed. I'm glad we could do a good match too, because it felt like we hadn't done many. There hasn't been many good matches like that. So I'm glad we got one, because we didn't really get any. The quarterfinals were okay, but they weren't that good. That felt like a semi of a slam. That was a huge one. So I'm glad that it turned out good. 40 love. As it'll find down the line from Bencic. That's a winner, 40-15. 40-15. Watching from Bali. Nice, Wayne. 40-15. Serving to the forehand of Bencic. Backing it from Swiatek to the backhand of Bencic. And Swiatek forehand again to the forehand of Bencic. Again to the forehand of Swiatek. Bencic again to the forehand of Swiatek. Down the line's a winner, and it's one love Swiatek. Hey, LA, thank you for the 33 months. Hoping for another epic match. Thanks, Cam, for your stellar work. No worries. Thank you for the 33 months as a Tier 2 member. Thanks for sticking around. Been watching you since the French Open. Love from New York. Hey, thank you for the nice words. I hope the winner of this match will win the tournament, okay? Cheering for both Bencic and Swiatek. Bencic so Anisimova can win, and Swiatek is okay also. Fair enough. All right. Swiatek holds serve. All right. What do you think happened with Sabalenka? You know what? The same thing that happened with her at the Australian Open final. And that was she served second in the third. That's what happened. That's what happened, chat. Sabalenka served second in the final set, and that undid her in the end. She got broken to lose in the Australian Open final. She got broken to lose today. That is what happened. I don't know what happened. I can't remember about with Gauff. Did she get broken? No, Gauff held, didn't she? Gauff served and won the match. But, yeah. I mean, serving second and getting broken to lose. I mean, it used to be her biggest problem. She would get broken at the end of a match in the semis of, the US Open 21 and even the US Open 22 when she lost to Swiatek, in the semis. I think she got broken against Mukova as well in the semis of the French a couple of years ago. So that's her problem, is serving second in the final set. She serves first, she still might lose, but getting broken to lose the match, it happens a lot, unfortunately, for her. Yeah, Coco held to win. I remember that. She was serving and she won the match on her serve. But, the two matches she's lost, other than, outside of that, on the Grand Slams, she's been broken to lose. I mean, and it's brutal. Sabalenka lost? No. I'm not telling you what happened. No spoilers. You just have to watch the match yourself. 15-0. Go watch it. As it a slice now into the back into Swiatek. That's a great shot. Bencic is down, and Swiatek puts it away. Bencic slipped. She's okay, though. It's just an awkward fall from Bencic. 15-30. She kind of hit her knee on the way down as well. She's all right. She's kind of hit her knee on the way down. 15-30, chance for Swiatek to break. Yeah, Bencic just kind of... Oh, her knee kind of went backwards. That could have been really ugly. She kind of went out... She pushed out wide. Her foot slipped and her knee kind of went like this. So she fell down just to sort of stop the... try not to hurt it, but it was awkward. As the return gets back into Bencic, forehand Swiatek. Into the back of the Bencic, Swiatek backhand into the net. 30-0. All right, 30-0. Hey, Demario, thank you for the 27 months as a legendary member as well. I want Swiatek to win because she probably won't win Wimbledon again. Thank you for the Tier 3 membership. As it back end now to the back end of Swiatek, but that goes out by Bencic, and Swiatek has a chance to get the break straight away. Bencic just hurt her knee. Her knee went like that, and she's starting to stretch out that knee. The back of her knee extended, and that is a problem. She is in a little bit of pain or discomfort. Serve. Into the backhand, Swiatek. Return goes back into Bencic. Swiatek backhand. Down the line is good. Bencic puts a lob up. And Swiatek comes in with a forehand and puts it away. Bencic can't win this match if she's hurt. 2-love Swiatek. Bencic is definitely not 100%. She keeps on like flexing her knee, flexing her leg to test it out. So there's definitely something going on. Plus, she's also apparently lost a toenail, so that sucks. All right, 2-love Swiatek. Swiatek serves a fault. Second serve. The backhand of Bencic. Swiatek backhand, the backhand of Bencic. Into the slice of Swiatek. Bencic comes in and puts away the forehand. Love 15. Love 15. Hey, Colleen, what's going on? Welcome. Love 15. Serve again from Swiatek. The return goes into the net, 15-all. $15-all. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. As we return now to the backhand of Swiatek, backhand from Bencic. Into the backhand of Swiatek as Bencic hits it in the net. 30-15. $30-15. Swiatek serves again. Serve to the forehand of Bencic, and Bencic hits it out in the return. 40-15. As that goes out by Bencic, and it's 3-love Swiatek. Great start. Cam, do you think Swiatek made the changes to a game just to win one more on other services than clay? Yes. Okay, hear me out. I've been saying this for a while, but I'm going to say it again. I think that Swiatek brought Wim Fizet on not just to make her more aggressive because she felt like she was being attacked by the bigger hitters. She wanted to beef up the serve, right? That's not even I don't even think that's like, everybody knows that, right? But she got him specifically because he has coached players to win Wimbledon. Now, she has not won Wimbledon yet. But specifically, he coached Kerber to win Wimbledon. And Kerber's game was not about big serving, big hitting, Ostapenko, Sabalenka style, right? It was more defensive. Yeah, it was left-handed, but it was more defensive. And I think that she might have brought him on to help her in that particular area. Now, look, her clay court tennis last year was incredible, right? It was the best it could have been besides not winning the Olympics. It was perfect, right? Almost perfect. It was never going to be that good this year. She was never going to be able to do that because players have gotten better. Coco Gauff's gotten better. Sabalenka's gotten better. on clay specifically, right? But she never won Wimbledon, and she made her first grass court final before Wimbledon, and now she's in her first semi-final of Wimbledon. And Wim Fizette got so much shit. By the way, she also made the semi-finals of the Australian Open, and nobody remembers that because she didn't win a title. So everyone's like, oh, she didn't win a title. Yeah, but she made the semi-finals of Australia for the second time, and Wim Fizette was part of that reason. He deserves so much credit if she wins this title. He as much as she gets credit, he deserves all the credit because he's been getting so much shit as being like this overrated coach, whatever. She's, get the old coach back, blah, 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 blah. If Swiatek wins Wimbledon, Wim Fizette gets the credit. He is the reason she won. That's it. Especially if she beats Anisimova to do it. I mean, that'd be someone who's like a scary big hitter, Ostapenko, Sabalenka style, right? They've never played either, which is weird if they do play. So yeah, Wim Fizette. I think Wim Fizette came on. Swiatek got Wim Fizette for these particular tournaments, the ones that she hasn't won, because she's won all the clay court tournaments, right? She's won Stuttgart, she's won Rome, she's won Madrid, she's won Roland Garros, right? She won the US Open, but she hasn't won on the faster courts, and I think Fizette was to come on to teach her a more aggressive way, or at least not to be like how to defend or how to play better against more aggressive players like Kerber did back in the day against Serena, for example, right? I mean, Kerber beat Serena here to win Wimbledon, and I think Fizette's experience in that to give to Swiatek to try and help her win this, I think that is been such a key. Fizette also helped Osaka. There you go, yeah. Wim Fizette is a great coach, and he got so much shit because Swiatek wasn't doing what she did before. But if she wins Wimbledon, he gets all the credit. Is Bencic getting asked for the physio? Is that what's happening? Bencic, that's weird. Bencic got up to go return and then she started walking and then she stopped. Yeah, Bencic, when she flexed her knee the wrong way when she slipped, she's not felt comfortable on that left knee. It's like behind her knee. It's on the back of her knee. Like, you know how knees go like this, right? You know, your knee's like this. Her knee went like this. And when your knee goes like that, that's the wrong way. And it did that when she slipped. So she's getting the trainer out. By the way, chat, where's her husband? Has anyone else? He's not been there, unless he's wearing a wig in the back row. He hasn't been there the whole time. Maybe he's looking after the baby. You know the tall, isn't it a physio as well? Wasn't he her physio as well? The big, tall, bald guy? No, it's not the guy with the wig. I was just making a joke. That's a different guy. It must be at home. Baby duties, yeah. Yeah, he's a stay-at-home dad now. She'll go win Wimbledon. You just stay home and look after the baby, all right? I'll go win Wimbledon. You stay here. I'll go win Wimbledon. We're just waiting for the train to come out. No, I don't think someone passed out. I think Bencic just asked for the trainer. I don't think anything's happened. Oh, something happened in the crowd. Oh, I thought Bencic... Okay. Sorry, I thought Bencic was asking for the trainer. So, okay, someone in the crowd needs medical attention. Okay. That's the third time. That's sad. Hopefully they're okay. Yeah, okay, so that's good. That means it's not Bencic. That's good. It's not good for the crowd, but it's good that Bencic isn't injured. Hopefully that person in the crowd's okay, though. And they're getting their treatment. Yeah, a lot of people are... we've had three crowd incidences because of the heat, so... yeah. Shouldn't the shade be moving in? Yeah, but the sun's still like half the crowd, or like one side of the crowd is still in the sun. So it's not even hot. Well, if you're sitting in the sun all day, it is hot. And then you get up, like that's the thing, chat. So this is what, I'm not a doctor, but like if you're sitting there all day and you're like, maybe you didn't get water, you didn't bring water, or you ran out of water because you drank it all in the first like 30 minutes, and you're sitting there in the sun and you're just like kind of watching and watching. Then when you get up to move, let's say you like want to get up, that's when like, you faint, right? Or that someone's sitting there and then they just like pass out, and then the person next to them's like, oh my God, so again, it doesn't matter if like, I mean, if you're sitting in the direct sun and it's a hot day, I mean, it's just people not hydrating, and that's rough, because when you go to the tennis, if you've ever been to the tennis, they don't bring drinks around to you, right? You sit there and you have to go get your own drinks. So if you run out of water, you gotta go refill, but you want to watch the tennis, so you're like, oh, I don't want to leave right now. So then you stay, and then bad things can happen. So it's rough. They don't have like the drinks people like they do at the baseball, right? Where people are walking around with water and drinks, and you're like, hey, I'll take a beer. Like, they don't do that shit. You have to go get your own. At least in Australia you have to. And I'm guessing Wimbledon. Yeah, dehydrated. Yeah, and not used to the temperature, 100%. 100%. Oh, probably. All right, 3 love Swiatek. Bencic to serve. Person in the crowd seems to have gotten their medical attention. Hopefully they're okay. I lived in Italy in the last 40 years, had a heat stroke once in my life. In Scotland, the British sun can be a real killer, even though it doesn't seem to be hot. Yeah, I think it's just because it just zaps you, because of it's more of like a humidity, right? So it's less of a sting, and more of a like it just dries you up from the inside. Whereas Australian sun's like dry, and it just kind of like, you can when it's hot, because this is like burns you. But I think in the British sun, it's more like it's a bit sneaky, right? Like, what's the humidity in London right now? 31%. Oh, okay. But still, it's like it's a different kind of heat. All right, love 15. Back in Swiatek, back into Bencic down the line. That's a great sub. As with a bounce smash from Bencic, she puts it away. 15 all. Speaking from someone who's not in summer right now, it's really cold. Chat, something's going on. The cold is colder and the heat is hotter. I don't know what's up. 30-15. Something's going on, chat. I don't know what's going on. All right, lovely shot from Bencic. Serve again. There's a forehand return good from Swiatek. Into the back of the Bencic. Swiatek forehand of the stretch. In the net. 40-15. In the UK is like 40 in Colombia. Yeah. 30 in the UK is like 40 in Australia. But we also got to remember, like, people, you have like 30-degree days every day, you're going to be used to it. Whereas if you don't have 30 degrees and then all of a sudden you have like 2 or 3 days in a row that's 30, that's going to feel like crazy. Whereas if 30 is normal, then, right? It's like around here, right? In summer, people that come from like more like what do you call it? Where people live on the equator, like places like India and like Southeast Asia, when they come to Australia in summer, they're wearing like jeans. And you're like, it's 40 degrees. How are you wearing jeans? But it's just because they're so used to that temperature being from, the equator, they're so used to that weather that they just go, yeah, this is normal. So I'm just going to wear normal clothes, where I'm like, I'm not leaving my house, you know. I'm not leaving my house. 15 love. Yeah, from that like the tropical kind of zone. Like if you're used to it, you're gonna be fine. But when you're not used to it, it sucks. Philippines is 44 degrees high, yeah. 15 love. Swiatek serves again. Into the backhand of Bencic. Swiatek comes in with a swing volley, but Bencic there with a pass, and then a lovely drop volley by Swiatek. 30 love. 30 love. Humidity is a killer. Yeah, humidity is sneaky. All right. Forehand rally. As Bencic on the stretch. Goes wide. 40 love. Swiatek to take a 4-1 lead first set. There's limited AC in London. Oh, yeah. I remember living in London, and that's another problem. Like, yeah, air conditioning is not a thing in houses. I remember I had to buy a fan, and it was like, it sucked. Ah, 40 love. As the backhand return goes back in Swiatek. Into the forehand of Bencic. She puts it away 40-15. Yeah. Houses in the UK are not built for summer. Just like houses in Australia are not built for winter. Australian houses are built for summer. But then in winter, like that's why I'm freezing my ass off all the time, because my house is not built for winter. These houses are light and airy. They're for summer, to keep the heat out, or for airflow. But you don't want airflow when it's cold. Forehand rally. That goes out by Swiatek, 40-30. And Chad, this is coming from somebody who went to university for architecture. Not a brag. And I also worked in the UK and Australia doing architecture, so I know a little bit about stuff. Ah, 40-30. As with a forehand into the forehand of Bencic. Bencic in the net. 4-1 Swiatek. No heat or aircon in my apartment. Yeah, I had those heaters. What are they called? Radiators. I had a radiator in the UK. That's not a thing here. This guy's still smiling. The Bjorn Borg lookalike and Bjorn Borg are in the same place. They are not the same person. There's two different people. We can confirm there's two different people. But yeah, in Australia we have like a split system that does cooling and heating. We don't have radiators and stuff here. Or we have fans. No, we don't have radiators. Are not a thing here. No, radiators are not a thing. They are not a thing. 0 radiators. I've never seen a radiator in Australia like I have in the UK. Maybe in like really old houses, maybe, but I don't go to those houses. So all right. 4-1. As Bencic serves. To the backhand, Swiatek in the net. 15 love. Do I have a fireplace? I wish. No, I don't have a fireplace. I wish I had a fireplace. Fireplaces are great. 15 love. I'd take an electric fireplace. Those really old houses in Australia probably owned by British settlers, lol. I mean, I don't know about that. Backhand goes down the line into the forehand of Swiatek. Bencic comes in there. Swiatek hits it wide, 30 love. Cam, is it true that you'll find wild animals in your house very often, like snakes and spiders? Yeah, I literally found I had a spider in my house today. And then when I went to go get the spray, it disappeared. Which was concerning. So hopefully, it left on its own. It went out the back door, hopefully. On its own. And it's not hiding somewhere. But yes, spiders and snakes, for sure. Spiders are way more common than snakes. No, this wasn't a big spider. It was this little one. It was just I think it was like a baby huntsman or something. It wasn't a big, scary thing. Do I have a wine cellar? No. There's been a 4-4 rally. Swiatek hits it wide, and it's 4-2. Swiatek with the break. Yeah, I haven't seen a wild snake recently, but they have them. They're definitely snakes around. But we also know as Australians, like we know not to go to places where they have wild snakes. Like I'm not going to go walking around in a swampy area because then you're just asking to get attacked by a snake. And look, some people do have snakes like at their front, like back door, and like snakes do get to like backyards and stuff. But I haven't seen it. But there's like wild koalas and there's kangaroos around, foxes, rabbits. What else we got? A lot of birds, a lot of wild birds, exotic Australian birds. Swiatek gets a lovely backhand down the line winner, 15 love. Yeah. Possum. I saw a possum last night. Actually, no, it was today when I came back from the shops. I saw a possum walking across the fence, which is like a squirrel, but it doesn't eat nuts though. I saw a possum literally today. And then it went to jump over the fence where there's like the neighbors have dogs, and I'm like, no, don't go there, and it came back. It must have heard me. But yeah, I saw a possum literally today. Wild animal from Australia. We got echidnas, wombats. Sometimes echidnas are harder to see, but they're just like prickly things. Platypus, yeah. I haven't seen one of them in the wild, but wallabies, yeah, they're kind of like just kangaroos. Do you ever get recognized in public? Nope. A dingo ate my baby. That's unfortunate. Yeah, there's jellyfish here as well. Stingray, sharks, dolphins. It's 30 love. Swiatek down the line, the back end of Bencic. Slice from Swiatek. Bencic comes in with a forehand winner, and it's 30-15. 30-15. I'll tell you what we don't have, though. We don't have squirrels. There's no wild squirrels here, which is why when I went to America or even in the UK, I was like, oh my God, there's squirrels. We don't have squirrels here. That's not a thing. We don't have squirrels. I don't think we have skunks or raccoons that I can see. I've never seen a raccoon in the wild in Australia. What else don't we have? I think that's about it. Compared to like other things what are some wild animals in your areas? Where are some wild, crazy animals in your areas? Like I know UK have a lot of foxes. We have foxes, you just don't see them. As it a 4-4 rally, that goes wide by Bencic, 40-15. No squirrels. What do your dogs do? Sleep? Deer? No, we don't. We have deer, but we don't have wild deer. You don't really see them out. We don't see them. Badgers? No. Giraffes? No. You have wild giraffes in your area? Where do you live? Elk or deer? I don't see wild elk or deer. Or turkeys. Or coyotes. No coyotes. No moose. 5-2. Yeah, no wild moose. We have lizards. Yeah. We don't have bears. No bears. Wild pigs? I think maybe, yeah. We have hawks. We don't have vultures. I don't think we have vultures. You should have camels. I think we do have camels, but you barely see them. Like you have to go very remote to see camels. Yeah, we don't have wild monkeys. It's not a thing here. Don't have elephants. Again, where are you guys living that have wild elephants in your yard? I feel like most of you are just naming animals. I asked, like, where in your area do you live? You have elephants in your area, do you? You got elephants roaming around in the back garden? Is that what you live in an area where there's elephants walking down the road? Is that that's what I'm saying? Like, giraffes walk past your house. Is that what you're saying? Where do you live? Do you live in a zoo? Where do you live? I think people just naming animals. Yeah, we got emus. Yeah, I know where emus. I've seen emus in the wild. We got owls. Yeah. 3-fingered sloth. We don't have sloths. No. Wild horses. Yeah, we have horses. Pelicans. Yep. No wildlife in Maui? Really? Okay. Yeah, we don't have bobcats. We do have bats. Yeah, we have bats. We do have bats. Anyways, 5-2. Cockroaches? Yeah. What's the topic? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. All right. Bencic serving to stay in the set. Serve into the forehand. Swiatek. Backhand now from Bencic. Goes long. Love 15. All right. Love 15. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Love 15. As we just served in the net from Bencic. Second serve. As we return now on the forehand of Bencic. Bencic hits it wide though. Love 30. Love 30. A chance for Swiatek to take the first set. Love 30. Serve again. As the return goes in the forehand of Bencic. Sliced into the forehand of Swiatek, who puts away the winner. Love 40. Swiatek cruising in this one. Love 40. Some parts of Sri Lanka, we have wild elephants in the backyard. Oh, that's fair enough. I feel like some people in the chat, though, were just saying things that were like they've never seen an elephant in their life. And they're like, oh, elephants in my yard. Yeah. I'm sure parts of the world definitely have it, but something tells me some of the people that were saying stuff were not being truthful. Bencic in the net. First set, Swiatek 6-2. I've finally been vindicated. There's finally some peace and quiet in the women's final. Quiet enjoyers and happy Reddit and YouTube comment section. God, your life must be so fun. You must have so much fun. See, even my dog got up for that one. She was like, what is this person talking about? What do you mean? What do you want about? Mia, come here. Come here. No? Okay. Come here. Come here. There you go. So you got my dog up out of bed because you were crying about Sabalenka making noise or whatever. Anyways, first set, 12 winners, 4 errors from Swiatek, very clean. 6 winners and 3 errors from Bencic. Swiatek broke twice with 2 break points, and Bencic didn't have a break point. Saw a Pegasus the other day. Wow, where are you from? Olympus? All right. Swiatek served well, by the way. 85% of first serve points, 1-2. Hey. All right. Foxes are becoming a major problem in London, in my opinion. I got chased by 2 the other week. I'm sorry, that sucks. You got chased? I remember I used to chase the foxes when I was in the UK. I would be walking home like from a night out, and I'd see a fox, and I'd start running towards it, and then it'd just disappear, and then I'd turn around the corner and be at the end of the street. I used to chase them. I don't know why are they chasing you though? What did you do to them? Do you insult them or something? What did you say to them? Forehand winner? Are you talking about foxes like animals or people? 15 love? Was that a humble brag? Did I miss that? Was that a humble... I got chased by a couple of foxes the other day. Did you now? Okay. I feel like that was a humble brag. Yeah, I had foxes chasing me. Okay, cool, man. Good for you. Good on you. 15 love? You want to hear Mia bark? No, she's a good dog. She doesn't bark. She's a quiet dog. She doesn't bark. All right. 15 love? It was not funny, I promise. Okay. It sounds funny. It sounds weird. I've never heard of that. You got chased by what did you do though? You must have done something. You couldn't just be walking on your own business and then you got chased. Because a lot of people are laughing because that's a funny. Doesn't seem like a normal thing to happen. Like, how did it even happen? You got to give us a context. I'll be like, I just got chased. What happened? It's a little funny. You'll laugh at it one day. All right, 15:30. Did I feed the foxes? No. Why would I do that? They're wild animals. You're not supposed to feed the animals. You're not a wild animal, are you, Bubba? You heard the word feed, didn't you? You heard that word, didn't you? Yeah, you saw. Yeah, I can tell you heard that word. Really? All right, 15:40. Bencic a chance to break here in the second. All right, 15:40. There's a default from Swiatek, second serve. By the way, Chad, I'm not going to read anyone who says the word cougar. I'm not reading any comments about cougars. 15:40. Backhand return from Bencic is wide. 30-40. One saved. 30-40. 34. Yeah, Azza. 30-40. 30-40 as we serve out wide. The backhand of Bencic as the forehand goes into the... No, it doesn't. Goes out by Bencic and it's deuce. All right, we get to deuce. We get to deuce. Serve again. Why do women play less 3 sets compared to men 5 sets? It's not fair. Oh, I'm sorry. You feel hard done by, do you? You feel like you'll get it. What? You? Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks to be you, I guess. Anyways, advantage Swiatek to take the first game of the second. First serve of the fault, second serve. As we do second serve. Swiatek to take the first game of the second. Nope, she can't get the ball toss right. Serving the forward to Bencic, back in the Swiatek. It's long, we're back to deuce. Howdy from Texas, howdy. Hopefully you're staying cool. All right, deuce. And Swiatek serves again. Into the forehand of Bencic. Return goes to the forehand of Swiatek. Bencic backhand. Into the back of Swiatek. Again, the back of Bencic, who hits it in the net. And it's advantage Swiatek. Advantage Swiatek. By the way, Chad, I want to do an experiment. Not for any reason, but that person made that comment. I want to just do an experiment. I want to know how much per hour each player is made. That's what I want to do. I want to see how much per hour. Because this will probably put things into a better context than just being like, oh, well, women play less. Okay. So, Djokovic and Sinner, this tournament, Sinner has played 9 hours and 50 minutes. We'll round it up to 10. And he's made it to the semis. And in the semi-final of Wimbledon, you make... How much money? Let me check. How much do you get from a semi-final of Wimbledon? How much do you get for that? For a semi-final of Wimbledon, you get £775,000. So if we go 775, right, and we divide that by 10, he's making $77,000 an hour. $77,000 an hour. Now, Djokovic, he's worked 13 hours, but he gets the same amount. So Djokovic, he's done nearly 13 and a half hours. He's only making $57,000 an hour. So if Sinner's making $20,000 more an hour than Djokovic, is that fair? I mean, I know people are going to be like, well, the ladies and the men. But what about the men and the men? Because Djokovic is making far less per hour than Jannik Sinner. It should be based on, they should have an hourly rate, I think, on the men's side. And on the women's side, if I have a look at the hourly rate at the moment between these two players, Bencic has worked 10 hours, which is more than Sinner, by the way. Jannik Sinner's worked 9 hours. Bencic has worked 10. They've worked the same hours. They've done the same amount of hours. Is that right? Did I say 10 for Sinner? Oh yeah, Sinner, 9 hours, 50 minutes. Bencic, 10 hours and 11 minutes. So Bencic has worked 20 minutes extra. Do we give her $20 extra for that? On top of the prize money that she gets because Swiatek's worked 8 hours, so she's had the easiest time out of those 4. So she's making $96,000 an hour. I mean, she's making $40,000 an hour more than Djokovic, but Bencic and Sinner are making the same. But Djokovic is getting the raw deal because he's had to do the more work. Right? Am I making any... whatever? What about Alcaraz and Fritz? Alcaraz has only done 9 hours of work. What? Slack. He's getting $86,000 for 9 hours work. That's less than Bencic. For the same... And this is not including this match. For the same amount... That's crap. 13 hours for Fritz. So Fritz has done 4 extra hours and he only gets $59,000 an hour. God. Tell you what, if I'm Djokovic and Fritz, I'm knocking on the union's door, or I don't know what it is. I'm knocking down the door of the tournament director and being like, hey, I've done 4 hours more work than this guy that I'm playing. I want a bonus. This is bullshit. Where's the fairness in that chat? That Taylor Fritz has done 4 extra hours, yet he gets paid the same as Alcaraz. That's shit. That's crazy. See, it's silly, isn't it? When we go down this road, when we do this thing, doesn't make any sense. But the fact that Bencic has worked harder than Alcaraz and Sinner and done more work on the court completely disregards your argument of the men do more work. Because Bencic has worked longer. She's done an hour extra work, so... Tennis is not based on hourly rate. It's not like the real world. Professional tennis is not like the real world. It's not like what we do, right? It's not the same thing. Also, to make $60,000 an hour is ridiculous. It's crazy. That's crazy. None of it makes sense. So we shouldn't try and make it make sense in our context. Because it doesn't make sense. They do an hour's work for a year's work of what we do. Right? They're getting more, I don't know, before tax, right? Before tax. Anyways, 30-40. Bencic is in trouble. And she's done more work than Swiatek. Again, it doesn't work, chat. That's not how it works. You get £770,000 for getting to the semis. Getting to the semis. If you lose in the semis, you get $775,000. Is it a backhand rally? Swiatek too good. Bencic gets it back though, and then Swiatek puts it away. 2-love. Swiatek is setting a break. But yeah. So yeah. Before anyone comes in here and complains about men doing more work than women, just look at the hours on court. Because that's the only way we can... Yeah, you can go Sinner played more games. Okay, but how long on court? Because if you're basing it on not being fair, then you've got to also get ridiculous enough to make it an hourly rate. Because that's the only way it can be fair. I guess. But then again, you're not paying their bills, so I don't know why you're complaining. How much of their $770,000 are you paying them? How much are you giving to them? 0, right? You're not paying them anything. You're not donating to them. You're not giving them a bank account. You're watching them. You're spending time on them. You're not paying them, so what do you got to worry about? Love 15. Women are making way more per hour? Did you not just see what I just said? Did you not just watch it? Bencic has spent more hours on court than Djokovic, Alcaraz and Sinner. Only Swiatek spent less hours than those two. So you can't just blanket statement, well, they don't play as much, because when you look at the hours on court, some have played more. Anyways, backhand winner Swiatek, 30-15. 30-15. Why do we always compare men and women? I don't know. Someone brought it up, and I just wanted to break it down out of curiosity to see who has earned the most per hour and the least per hour. And Djokovic is earning almost $50,000 an hour, which is so... for the greatest player of all time, he's only getting $55,000 an hour. How does he survive? It's crazy. Anyways, 30-15. As we just serve to the back of the Bencic. Return goes into the net. 40-15. 40-15. Demario.
They are just salty that girls don't play 5 sets. FYI 1, learn about biological differences between men and women. 2nd, still no.
Look, I have always been for 5-set semi-finals and finals for ladies. Not because I think it's unfair that they don't. It's because I just want to see more tennis. You don't think that an Anisimova Sabalenka match goes 5 sets? Who doesn't want to see that? That match was awesome. The fact that we only get 3 sets, I want to see more tennis. That's the only reason. I don't care if they get paid, whatever. I don't give a shit about the pay. I just want to see more tennis. And if that went 5 sets, imagine if Sabalenka came back from 2-1 down in a semi-final of Wimbledon to make the final. That'd be incredible. If we got to see that stuff, you know? But we don't. Maybe one day. But I love that. I wish that we did. Especially today, because today we don't even have... I mean, we could play 2 5-setters today, because we're playing 2 5-setters tomorrow. Please concentrate on the match. 3-love. Nothing's going on, really. Bencic is struggling, so we are just... I just concentrated for like 3 hours straight, so we're just having a bit of a, chill. I do not watch Sabalenka. She is annoying with her grunting. Wow. I've never heard really? I've never heard anyone say anything about her grunting. That's crazy. Swiatek with a set and a break. She is dominating this semi-final. $51 and counting, yeah. All right. Bencic serving to get on the board. Tell you, the final's going to be interesting. Swiatek and Anisimova never played. That will be interesting. All the people annoyed by grunting, go watch chess. Andrew, that's more savage than anything I could have thought of. That might be the most savage response ever. Jeez. Yeah, go watch chess. You don't like the grunting? Go watch chess. Imagine they grunted in chess. Ugh. I'm sure they do. It's so funny when they get angry in chess, though. It's so funny. I love seeing that. Especially when they have to, who's the really good guy? Who the Norwegian guy? And he loses and he's like, damn it! And then he's like, good game. Every time I'm just like, when he gets pissed off and he just like wants to flip the table, and then he's like, yes, good game. And then he walks off. So funny. Magnus, yeah, he's so funny. When he loses, and he's just like, good game. And then he walks off. I love it when they get tilted. It's hilarious. Anyways, 15-all. 15-all. Serve. And Swiatek gets it out. 30-15. 30-15. All right. Bencic serves again. Maybe both genders should play best of 3 sets and then the final 5 sets. Yeah, but if that happens, then upsets happen and people will get angry at the upsets. So, yeah. So if we did that, and then let's say, if Sinner lost to Dimitrov, people would have thought that would have happened anyway, but that's a bad example. But if we play that game as that goes into the back of the bench, it's Swiatek is a winner and it's 30-all. if we'd have so many more upsets, which I don't mind, but I think people would get pissed off that like their player was losing more often because of the 3-set format on the men's side, and that people would be like, oh, my player only lost because it was a best of 3. It was best of 5. They never would have lost. And then people get shitty at the format being compromised. You can't make anyone happy. Except yourself. 30-all. Is it a 4-4 rally in the net by Swiatek? 40-30. At least you can try. I'd rather have... I've said this every Grand Slam. The first half of the tournament be best of 3. Second half be best of 5 for men and women. Quarterfinals onwards, best of 5. That's what I would want. That's how I would structure it. Round 1 to 4, best of 3. It'd be a crazy first week because, Chad, after the first 2 days of this tournament, it wasn't that interesting until we got to the quarterfinals. So the first 2 days were interesting because of the upsets, and then after that, it was like, oh well, we're just going to wait for the quarterfinals, and then even the quarterfinals weren't that good. On the men's side, Dimitrov versus Sinner was the only interesting match, probably, like for me anyway, only interesting thing that happened between the first round and the quarterfinals on the men's side. There were some competitive matches, but I think out of the big dogs, the only interesting thing was that Sinner was down 2-0 in a 4th round. All right, deuce. There's a return now from Swiatek in the forehand to Bencic. Bencic hits it out, advantage Swiatek. And then best of 5 from quarterfinals onwards for both men and women. Imagine that Sigmund match against, Sabalenka could have played 2 5-setters in the quarterfinals, semifinals to get to here. It would, and she might have won those, who knows, but it would have been crazy. We had the 5 sets for the Sabalenka matches this week. It would have been awesome, Backhand down the line to the forehand Swiatek. Swiatek hits it wide. And we get back to deuce. I think that's the perfect format. Yeah, I think I like that compromise. Flavio versus Novak. Yeah, but that was a quarterfinal. I said before, between the first round and the quarterfinals, before the quarterfinals, there wasn't much going on. Second, third, fourth rounds, nothing happened. Couple of upsets, yeah, but I don't think it was that interesting. Besides Sinner going down 2-0 and maybe Draper losing, not much else went on in those rounds for me. Besides maybe Alcaraz losing a set or Djokovic losing a set, but other than that, there was no one who was in real danger, right? So if they were best of 3-set matches, then if Djokovic lost the first set against Demonor, it looks a lot scarier. Alcaraz lost the first set against Struff or whatever, second set against Struff. That's like, holy shit, he's got best of 3 sets would have been crazy in those formats. But best of 5, you knew Novak was coming back. He lost the first set against Demon, you were like, oh, he never was in trouble after that. But if it was a best of 3, you would have been like, ooh, that's scary, right? And then quarterfinals onwards, 5 sets. But the thing is, we probably won't get that because nobody's asking for it. Swiatek, great return, 4-love. Like, nobody's asking for it. Like, the ladies aren't wanting to play 5. The men are not putting pressure on that to be 5, and they probably don't want to play 3 sets in the first week. So, I don't think, it needs, like... And also, how do you get all 4 Grand Slams to change at the same time? That doesn't happen. Like, the 4 slams are all independent, so they're not all going to come together and go, yes, we need to change the structure of the tournament. They don't talk, they don't work together. They're all on their own, right? That's why we've got the US Open doing a mixed doubles when everything else is not the same. And then for a couple of years, we had different final set formats. Like the slams aren't on the same page. So it's going to be very rare that they're all going to change the format to that structure, right? And Wimbledon tradition, they're never going to change. So, try changing Wimbledon to a best of 3 format and then best of 5 for everybody. That'll never change. That'll never happen. Never happen. I'm surprised they went to the final set tiebreak. Like, I'm surprised they changed that, 15-all. Even if the ATP and WTA merged, it would have nothing would happen on the ATP in the Grand Slams because Grand Slams are different. They're not part of the WTA and ATP. They're not that's a totally different organization. Swiatek gets a win at 30-15. By the way, Alice, why do you keep fighting with everybody? I feel like you come in here and you just start fighting people. I don't know what you're doing. And if it's not the chat you're fighting, you're trying to fight me. I don't understand. What are you doing? 40-15. All right, 40-15. Swiatek for a 5-love lead. All right. Swiatek gets it out, 40-30. All right, serve again. Serve again from Swiatek for a 5-love lead. And she says a fault second serve. No, I was just reading something about Sabalenka. All right, 400 from Bencic. Down the line's a winner, and we get to deuce. How did Anisimova look? Was it Sabalenka's nerves or Anisimova looking strong? Bit of both. Definitely nerves from Sabalenka at the end, but Anisimova also played some crazy points when she needed to. Especially at that, what was it? Was it 4-3 when she hit that? No, sorry, 4-2 when she was playing those ridiculous shots down the line on the backhand. That was a crazy shot. I think it was 4-2. So she definitely played she was playing really well when she had to. And yeah, Sabalenka got nervous at the end. Serving second in the third has been a thing, for her. As I mentioned earlier. All right, advantage Swiatek for a 5-love lead. Serve into the net, second serve. Winner plays Anisimova. Swiatek and Anisimova never played before, which is just crazy for me to think that. It's crazy to think that. It's crazy. How has that happened? Anyways, backhand return into the back of Swiatek. Backhand out from Bencic. Swiatek backhand into the forehand of Bencic. And Bencic is down. Swiatek puts it away. And it's 5-love. Bencic goes down again. And this is just a Swiatek special at this point. 5-love. 1 game away from our first Wimbledon final. By the way, chat, I hope Swiatek wins because I feel like for 12 months, there's been so many people just and I'm not saying any of you, I'm just saying that people have just been not even acknowledging how good Swiatek is. If she wins this slam, 6 Grand Slams, right? She won 3 French Opens in a row. 3 in a row. That doesn't happen. She's got a US Open and then a Wimbledon. I mean, she's 1 away from a career slam, right? She probably should have won the Olympics last year, but, doesn't matter. She's got more titles, I think, than anybody under 25. She's got more weeks at number 1 than any of the active players, I think. She has more weeks at number 1 than any of the active players, I think. I'm just trying to think, because there's still like Azarenka and Venus. But, I mean, she is one of the greatest players she might be the greatest player of the generation. Sabalenka's number 1, and yeah, but Sabalenka doesn't have the slams yet. And Sabalenka should have a lot more slams. Swiatek does win slams. And at the end of the day, what do we remember first? We remember who won more slams. That's how we're simple, chat. We're simple. We're simple, not in a bad way. I'm saying this in a normal way. We're simple when it comes to who's the best, who's got the most slams. That person, they're the best. We do that with everything. We do that with slams. We go, slams, who's got more slams? That person. Okay, they're better. If they've got the same amount of slams as someone else, then we compare weeks at number one. Like Murray and Stan, right? But she's got more. If she wins Wimbledon, she's got more slams than anybody in this generation. She's got 6 slams. She'll join a lot of those great players that we all say. She might have been top 10 all time if she wins Wimbledon. We have to crunch the numbers after this. But I mean, Iga Swiatek, even though she has fallen down the rankings, is still the most accomplished player that we've got at the top of the game. Especially if she wins Wimbledon. We don't. If you've been here for a Swiatek match, we always talk about her the highest praise all the time. We always remind everybody that, hey, we're talking about a 5-time Grand Slam champion here, and 3 French Opens in a row, and all these things that don't happen all the time. We just think they happen all the time because Serena did them, and we saw the GOATs on the men's side do them, and we think they're normal when they're not. 15:30. But we are witnessing one of the great players of the generation. We've got to start appreciating it more, especially if she wins Wimbledon, which I think a month ago, nobody gave her a chance in hell. Remember before the French, the rumor of Swiatek's ditching Wimbledon? Swiatek's not playing grass. After the French, she needs time off because she's had a terrible year, and she's not playing Wimbledon because she's needs a break from tennis. I don't know who made that up because that's a lie. It didn't happen. She's here. And she's got match point. 30-40. Swiatek has not bageled anybody this week. Which is weird because usually she's opening the bakery, like franchising around the world. As we're back in return from Swiatek, goes in the forehand Bencic. Swiatek forehand. Into that Bencic backhand. Swiatek on the stretch with a slice. It's a lob. Bencic comes in. And puts it away. No, Swiatek get it back. Great defense. Smash from Bencic. That one goes away. All right, back to deuce. Swiatek has 6-1 a lot, but no 6 loves. No bagels. No bagels. Big 3 and Serena gave people way too high expectations. Oh yeah, and we forget the little things, like 3 tournaments in a row. Little things. That's crazy. Winning 5 Grand Slams is not as impressive as it used to be, but it's still, we celebrate that. Back in the net from Bencic. By the way, chat, it's going to be funny to see Swiatek, if she does win Wimbledon, her and Alcaraz are trying to win a career slam at the same tournament. Can you imagine if next year's Australian Open, Swiatek, Alcaraz both completed that would be historic. Advantage Swiatek. First, she's got to win the final first, and also the next point. Second serve, Bencic. Swiatek to make the final of Wimbledon for the first time in her WTA career. Second serve goes to the back of Swiatek. Return goes down the line of the forehand. Bencic can't get it. Swiatek's in the final with a bagel. And she's into the final of the Grand Slam for the first time in a year. She breaks her semi-final curse that has happened over the last couple of tournaments. And she's into the final of Wimbledon. And she'll play Anisimova, who she has never met before on a tennis court. Maybe in practice, but not on the big stage. Iga Swiatek wins. She also won Junior Wimbledon, so she might become one of those players who did both. Like Federer. All right. GG's. Poor Bencic. Look, Bencic had a great week, though. Back in the top 20. Seeded at the slams going forward. Great week for Bencic. Great week. Beat Andreeva. That was a huge win. But Iga Swiatek is... she's back. I mean, if she wasn't already back after last week, she's back. She is back. Bencic walks off the court. She'll be ready for the American hardcourt season, which she'll probably do well at. She's made the semis of the US before. But Iga Swiatek, she is back. And let's see how she does in that final. If you are leaving, don't forget to sub on the way out. Grand Slam Swiatek, that's it. And she has a ridiculous record in slams as well. It is a very scary record. And scary for her opponents because she's never lost a slam final. She's 5-0 in slams finals. So, yeah. She did lose a doubles final once, but she is 5-0 in finals of slams. And she's playing someone who's never played a final of a slam. And all the pressure is on Anisimova because she beat Sabalenka. The surface would suit her, but also Americans winning at slams is a thing that's happened this year. And I think that a lot of people are going to expect that Anisimova is going to continue that trend. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Anisimova going into this final. A lot of pressure. Whereas Swiatek, yeah, she's trying to win her 6th slam. She's trying to win Wimbledon for the first time. But I feel like all the pressure's on Anisimova. Because people want to see that American dominance still, right? You want to see like Coco, Keys, Anisimova. And you want to keep that going. But remember, it's her first final. You back off. Let her play it, you know? And Swiatek might be able to just walk into that final and go, I've been here, done that, and you're here for the first time and you're going to be nervous. Pressure on Swiatek to break the drought? I don't think so. I feel like a lot more people are going to be talking about Anisimova winning and predicting her to win. Because of the surface, because of the style, and also, like I said, because of the American dominance. Like, I don't know. I think Swiatek might be a little bit underestimated in the final. We'll see what the what do you call it? The odds are as well, because I think Swiatek might be the favorite because she's high ranked, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be going with Anisimova to win. Especially coming off the Sabalenka win as well, beating Sabalenka, that's huge. Whereas Swiatek, if you look at who she's beaten, maybe people will think, she hasn't beaten anyone. She beat Bencic, she's beaten, Towson. She hasn't beaten any top players, but also she hasn't had to play them. They've lost. We'll see. We will see. And Swiatek doesn't lose Grand Slam finals. She is a finals beast. In fact, her finals record, let me just have a look real quick. I want to see what, I think her finals record is ridiculous. Also, second grass court final in a row, by the way. So Swiatek's record is 30 wins, 6 losses in finals. That's all time. 23-6 in WTA. 23-6. So she doesn't lose finals very often. Yeah, 23. Where is it? Sorry, 22-5. 22-5. With this one pending. So 22-5, whereas Anisimova in finals, she did win a 1,000 this year, so she has obviously been successful, but she is 3 wins, 3 losses. Coming off the Queen's Club final. So both these ladies have come off grass court finals this year. But Swiatek's I'm looking at Swiatek's final. She's playing her 28th final, and Anisimova's playing her 7th. It's a lot different. And like I said, 22-5 is crazy. Oh, sorry, I missed the super chat. My bad. Sorry, I was just going through Swiatek. I was just giving Swiatek props. Carl,
is back.
She's back. Well, let's see if she can win Wimbledon. Hell of an opportunity. Demario.
People weren't acknowledging how good Iga was even when she was dominating as number 1 come.
Yeah.
She's too quiet, she's weird, and my fab she's not number 1 material. When number 1 material is Serena/Soba in their eyes.
Thank you, Demario, for the $27 donation. I agree. A lot of people, because she wasn't as outgoing as Serena or Sabalenka, so it's like, well, she's not the number 1. She doesn't have that, outgoing personality. It's like, well, okay, not everyone is like that. But I agree. Again, yeah, people just, even when she was dominating, it was like, oh, well, she's not that good. And you're like, well, she is, though. She is that good. And I really hope she does win Wimbledon because that would be awesome for her legacy. But also, chat, don't you want to see greatness? I mean, I'm talking to Swiatek fans here, so of course you do. But, like, if you're not a Swiatek fan or you're just a neutral fan, don't you want to see, witness greatness? Like, don't you want to see, like, one of the great players of the era and be like, I watched Swiatek. What was Swiatek like? Swiatek, she was great. She figured out how to win on grass. She did this. Like, we're watching that in real time. We don't appreciate it until they retire and we're like, oh, remember how great that person was? We can now appreciate it in real time. We've got to wake up and be like, oh, we're watching one of the greatest players of the generation. This is like Alcaraz and Sinner, right? Swiatek is that version on the women's side. Post-Serena era, it's all about Swiatek. And a little bit about Sabalenka and maybe Gauff coming through. And obviously Osaka's had her time. But Swiatek is the best player since Serena. That's a fact. Look at the stats. He's the best player since Serena. Swiatek, no joke at all right now. Oh, yeah. Get into the finals, all surfaces. Yeah, but look, Sabalenka, back off her. Leave Sabalenka. Leave Sabalenka. She had a tough match today. I'm a neutral fan of Swiatek, but I would love to see her greatness emerge. That said, I'm rooting for Anisimova. Oh, look, if you're from America and you say I'm going for Anisimova, or you're like, whatever, you're an Anisimova fan, that's fine. I don't care if you're going for her. But it's the people that are like neutral fans that are, anyone that that's just hating on Swiatek for no reason. It's like, dude, do you not know what we're watching? Like, her winning is like, she's won, she's only the Australian Open away, and she nearly made the final of Australia this year. So you think the Australian Open is on the cards if she wins Wimbledon? She can win the Australian Open eventually and complete the set, which will be the first player, I think, since Serena to do that. Or maybe since Sharapova. Again, a career slam doesn't happen very often, but we see it all the time on the men's side, and we think it's normal, right? It's been normalized. Career slam, oh yeah. Remember, in 1990s, Agassi was the only person to have done it on the men's side, right? And now it gets done for fun. So we don't really know, like, we're like, oh yeah, winning four slams is nothing. Winning 4 different slams, oh yeah, whatever. It's not nothing. It's totally rare. Sharapova didn't do it. I thought she won 5 and 4. There were 4 different ones. I thought she did. Sharapova did win the 4, right? I'm pretty sure she did. She won the Australian Open, Wimbledon, French, and I'm pretty sure she won the US. Did she win the US in the black? Was she win the all black? Let me check. That's why I wanted I picked Gauff to win the French, but that's why I was happy if Sabalenka had won, because if Sabalenka wins the French, then she's almost at a career slam, right? And that shit doesn't happen all the time, and we might never see that happen. Alcaraz and Sinner maybe do it, maybe, but it doesn't happen. That stuff doesn't happen. So that's why it's exciting when it's like we're almost, and Swiatek's so young, she's got like 10 more Australian Opens at least to try and win that if she wins Wimbledon, right? Let me have a look. Why can't I find the... Here we go. All right, so career Grand Slams. In the men's singles. So Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Agassi, Laver are the only 5 guys to do it in the Open era. And then on the women's side, Open era, you've got Margaret Court, who kind of won it like split era. Billie Jean King, Chris Evert, Martina did it, Steffi did it, Sharapova and Serena. Sharapova did it back in 2012. So how many is that? 7? So pretty much once every, and the last time it was done was Serena in 2015. So once every 10 years, maybe if you get, a couple of players in the generation, do it. But it happens maybe on average once every 10 years that somebody has an opportunity to win a career slam. And both Sabalenka and Swiatek, if Sabalenka can win, obviously one of the non-hardcourt events, will be in that situation as well. But again, happens once every generation. One player every 10 years does it, at least. So again, that's why we've got to get excited for this stuff, because that's so rare. It's so rare. Can Carlos win a career slam? I think so. He's just got to win the Australian Open. And just once, he'll figure it out. Just like Sinner will figure out how to win the French. Or the Wimbledon, whatever he needs to win last, They'll figure it out. Career slam should be easy. Calendar slam, not so much. Bro, you're living in a fantasy land. Did you not just hear what I just read out? I have to see Sinner play tomorrow. How many times has he beaten Novak? Beaten Novak 4 times in a row. So you think they'll both get career slams, Sinner or Alcaraz? I think so. I think the French Open is going to get harder and harder for Sinner because Alcaraz is going to get better and better. So I think the French Open for Sinner might be the one that he has to win last because it's going to be the hardest. And the reason I think that Alcaraz has the Australian Open is the hardest is because everyone comes in fresh and it's a fast court. So I think Alcaraz's game on that particular surface is a little bit is a bit tricky, just like it is sort of on the indoor hard courts at times. Alcaraz struggles with the pace, but also the fact that everyone's coming in fresh. He kind of loses the advantage of being, the last man standing because everybody's coming in with, no tennis, plus Sinner, right? Sinner on hard courts. So I feel like Sinner and Alcaraz are their own worst enemies, or they're each other's enemy, obviously. I think the clay courts are going to get denied by Sinner by Alcaraz. But then, just like Rafa, not winning one of the French Opens, Roger walked through and got one, right? I think that both will get a chance and both will probably win one of the other. Right? Because I think Sinner, if he doesn't win this Wimbledon, which depends on his elbow, he'll win a Wimbledon. The French Open's going to be tough because Alcaraz is probably the guy that stops him has stopped him, right? And then the Australian Open, Sinner's locked that down at the moment. Whereas for Swiatek, it's interesting because I always thought Wimbledon was the hardest one for her to win because she's come close in Australia. Making the final, almost made the final this year. Probably should have made the final. And then if she beats Keys, then Keys wins the title, right? So you think, well, she probably had a chance in that final against Sabalenka. I never thought, and she never played well here at Wimbledon. She always had random results, kind of like Rafa always had random losses, right? Like third rounds against random players that you wouldn't think that she'd struggle against. But so this is the chance. Like if Swiatek wins Wimbledon, she might not get another chance. This might be her only chance at Wimbledon, and definitely her best chance. I mean, playing Sabalenka in the final, obviously Anisimova has become a problem, right? She's beaten Gauff here a couple of years ago. She's now made the final here, so she's going to be much more of a problem. Raducanu she avoided, luckily, but we know how good Raducanu is here. This might be Swiatek's only chance of winning this tournament. Just like, and it's funny because Rafa only won one Australian Open up until 22, right? And everyone thought Rafa's worst tournament Grand Slam was the Australian Open. Yeah, because he only won one. But you look at his Wimbledon results, he only won 2 Wimbledons, and he lost so much worse in Wimbledon. Australian Open, he was really good. He just didn't win the title as many times. But now you look at his results in hindsight, and you go, oh, he actually was better at Australia than he was at Wimbledon, even though it took him way longer to win a second Australian Open. But I think the same with Swiatek. I think she'll win an Australian Open. She wasn't far away this year from making the final. But Wimbledon, I think, is just going to be hard because it's also a short season. So it's, there's going to be more players. Pegula, she lost early here, but obviously she beat her, right? Gauff's going to probably figure out how to win on grass eventually. So I thought Swiatek's only chance, or her best chance, was 2 years ago when Vondi won, and Swiatek ended up losing to Svitolina. And I thought, oh man, if she had beaten Svitolina, she would have won the whole thing. But then now this has happened. And we've had all those upsets, right? We had all the upsets in the first week. And Swiatek's avoided a couple of danger players, but then she's also played some, and she's beaten them. She beat Collins. I think that was a huge win against Collins. confidence-wise. She's beaten Bencic, who she struggled with 2 years ago and dominated her. This might be it. Like, if she wins this, she might not. Well, she won't even have to make a final of Wimbledon again. She doesn't only need to win one Wimbledon. You don't need to win 7 Wimbledons to be any good. You only need one. Just tick the box. But we'll see. And Anisimovan's coming in though with the confidence of beating the number 1. But as I always say, did she play the final in the semis? Because she beat the best player on the planet, and usually that means you win the trophy. You beat the number 1. That's a massive deal. Does she have it in her to beat another player who's arguably the top, is probably say number 3 in the world currently? Maybe number 2 at her best. But Gauff obviously has something to say about that. So we'll see. Can she go through Swiatek as well? Not many players have beaten Swiatek and Sabalenka in the same tournament. Keys did. Swiatek would have beaten anyone today. Yeah, I mean, if she plays like that in the final, Anisimova held it together today, which was really good to see. But again, can she do it in the final? It's her first Grand Slam final as well. So like, and Wimbledon finals are a whole different thing, chat. They do that bloody walk down the thing, and they have the cameraman, and they have the whole, like, it's a whole thing. Wimbledon finals are a whole different show. Plus, finals in Grand Slams are totally different anyway. It's a whole different build-up. It's, you're the only match of that day that everybody's watching. Nobody's, you're the center of attention. You got to do all the bloody stuff beforehand. It's just the whole thing. Swiatek's been there so many times that she knows exactly how to do things. And Anisimova is going to be dealing with all that stuff for the first time. Again, there's a whole nother thing you got to deal with. Totally different circumstances. So it's going to be a really fun final. I'm excited. I don't know what the result's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to have to think about it. Because I know what I want to happen. Because I think Anisimova is going to get other chances. So I'd love to see Swiatek win. But do I think she's going to win? Well, if Anisimova plays a certain way and Swiatek, she could probably beat Swiatek. They've never played, so it's hard to even know. Well, last time they played, they did this. Well, they never played. But Anisimova has the game that Swiatek struggles against. That big hitting game. I mean, that Swiatek struggles against that. So Anisimova has the weapons we know, that could push her around. But is she going to be nervous? Is she going to be too nervous to execute? Again, so many things that we don't know that we're going to find out in real time. So it's going to be hard to predict. I think you could pick any scoreline and you could be right. You could say it could be a close 3-setter for either lady. You could say it could be a straight sets win for either player. I think there's no clear prediction. At least not in my head yet. Swiatek's 3rd in the world if she wins. Well, that makes sense because then you've got, the top 3 have a current Grand Slam champions. That makes sense. Yeah, Anisimova serve, that's going to be huge to see what happens. Really happy for Anisimova. She's having a great year. Oh yeah, she's progressing so well. She's gotten, she's taken her game to a whole new level, which is awesome. I'm predicting you're going to pick Swiatek to win. Well, see, that's who I want to win. So I'm going to have to think about what I think is going to happen, not what I want to happen. So, again, I think Anisimova was going to get more chances. So, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind if Swiatek wins this and then we go to the Australian Open and we get the same final. Anisimova Swiatek Australian Open final could be a thing. Or I'll take a semi-final. Anisimova semi-final against Swiatek. Not having seen them play ever, because they haven't played. But I would love to see if Swiatek does get this one, they get a rematch in Australia because that's, I feel like Anisimova is going to win an Australian Open. Again, if Sabalenka and Keys and Serena have won Australian Opens, you're thinking Nisimova's going to do well there eventually. You know? Fritz is being slept on. I picked Fritz to make the final, $5. So if he beats Alcaraz, I'll be eating McGriddles for breakfast. Did anyone win their first 6 finals on the women's side? That's a great question. We'll find that out when we watch the final. Sinner's not injured. He is. Got an elbow injury. Fritz won't beat Sinner or Nole. But can he beat Alcaraz? He doesn't have to beat them yet. He has to beat Carlos first. Fritz is good, but Carlos is better on paper. Yeah. Yeah, I put $5 on Fritz to make the final before the draw came out. Because he was paying stupid money because nobody thought he was going to do anything. And then he almost lost in the first round. But if he doesn't make the final, I'm not going to care. I picked Alcaraz to make the final anyway, so if he makes the final, yippee, but I don't really care. $5. I'm fine. If $5, I lose $5. I haven't even looked at my bet since the tournament started. I don't even know how much I'm set to win if he wins. I'm just happy I picked all 4 semifinals on the men's. I'll take that. I'm happy to have bragging rights. So yeah, if Fritz makes the final, I can. Oh. Okay. I think if Fritz wins the tournament, I'll make $250 because I had him at $34. Back in like whenever it was. So if Fritz wins Wimbledon, I'll make $250 off $10. But half, I think I don't know how it works because I put him. I did it. So the bet I put was $5 to final, like to place, $5 to win. So if he wins, it's $250. But if he loses, I still win something. I just don't know what it is. No, I'm not going to hedge. Yeah, I can't think of what. I don't know how it works. I don't know how if he loses in the final, maybe it's half that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I guess maybe it's half. So if he beats Alcaraz, I'll win something. But again, I don't know. I don't know how it works. And I might find out tomorrow. I don't know. If I don't find out tomorrow, then whatever. Your predictions have been pretty good. Yeah, they've been all right. I mean, I picked Sabalenka, which was not great, but she still made the semis. If Swiatek was American, all media would make her a star, no matter her personality. Well, that's the thing. Swiatek can only promote herself by winning. The more she wins, especially when she starts to, like, she gets the 6, 7, 8 slams, kind of like Sampras. And again, I wasn't around in the 90s to know how Sampras was responding, got responded to. But Sampras, from what I can recall from reading stuff, Agassi was the guy that everybody wanted to win. He was the rock star. He was the one that people wanted to see do well because he was the one who promised so much and he was the superstar of America and stuff. And then Sampras was winning and you're like, no, this guy's not as fun. He's not as interesting, right? But then I guess what made Sampras interesting was the fact that he started to get, close to the records, right? Close to Borg, close to Emerson, right? So I think that's what Swiatek's going to have to do. The only way she's going to get recognition from everybody is if she starts to start to accrue records or, starts to win slams and build the slam record. So then people are like, oh, well, she might not be the most outgoing personality, but God, her tennis, her record is great. We're going to follow that, So, and it sucks that she has to do that because there's players that are, that are not as winning and, getting a lot more press. But Swiatek's just going to have to let her tennis do the talking. And she will, like, people are going to start talking about her a hell of a lot more if she wins Wimbledon. Because she's one slam away from winning the career slam. Every time she goes to the Australian Open after this tournament, if she wins Wimbledon, it's going to be the conversation. Can Swiatek complete the set? Like every single year for the rest of time until she does it or until she retires. But also, you win 6 slams, it puts you in a different category. And again, people are going to start, the world will notice, right? The world will notice that. Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I'll tell you where it puts her, right? Just like Alcaraz, right? If he wins Wimbledon, he is him and Becker and Edberg have the same amount of slams, and he's like 22. You know, it's crazy. So if Swiatek wins Wimbledon, she will overtake Sharapova and Hingis, and she will be 6 in the Open era by herself. No one in the Open era has had 6 slams exactly. But 7, you got Venus, you got Yvonne Goolagong, and you've got Justine Henin. So she's 1 behind Venus. And you think that Swiatek's going to win 1 more slam if she wins this week. And then when you go to 8, she's going to equal Billie Jean King in the Open era. If you go to 9, it's Monica Seles. And then after that, it's like the 5, the greatest 5, right? You got Chrissy, you've got Martina, you've got Steffi, and you've got Serena and Margaret Court, right? So they're the big 5 that are way ahead, right? They're 18 plus. But if she wins this tournament, she's 3 behind Seles, and then between Seles and like 6th and 5th, it's like a 10 slam gap. But Swiatek could fall in the middle there, potentially at 10 to 15, which no one has done in the really. In the Open era anyway. So again, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but it just kind of gives us like, oh, well, we rate Venus so high, right? And we rate, Monica Seles high, and we all, Swiatek is in that conversation in a couple of slams, And if she wins Wimbledon, she's won 3 out of the 4, and then every time she goes to Australia, it's going to be talked about, can she complete the set? If she completes the set, that puts her in a different category of player with other players that have done that, because not many players have done that. But then also we can start talking about, okay, well, she wins, 8, 9, 10, who knows? So that's who we're watching. And I feel like people don't realize that's who we're watching. We're watching one of those players in real time. Swiatek is, and especially if she wins Wimbledon, Swiatek is a Justine Henin. She's a Monica Seles of our era. Like, that's who we're watching. And I don't want it to take 10 years to realize, oh, we just watched her. We gotta wake up to what we're seeing, right? We're watching this person in real time. So then when we talk about her in 5, 10, 15 years when she retires, we can go, oh yeah, I remember watching her. That's who we're watching here. That's who Swiatek is. But she has to win Wimbledon, and then we can start going on a rant. Only 9 players have won all 4 majors in the same in their careers. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen. Now, I don't think Swiatek's favourite for the US Open yet. I think it's still going to be Gauff and Sabalenka ahead of her. Swiatek is brilliant. Hope she can get the job done and Saturday make history. Oh, yeah, for sure. Because, again, I think Anisimova is going to get another chance. She'll have hers. She'll get hers, But I feel like right now, for Swiatek, and also for history, I would love to see it. And men's semis tomorrow. All right, chat, I'm going to get out of here because it is late. It's always late. But what a day. What a contrast in finals that we got. We got one epic, and we got one just one Swiatek special, really, just over an hour. But Swiatek and Anisimova, they're in the final. They're going to play each other in the final on Saturday, so make sure you join us then. It's going to be a warm day as well, so we'll see whether or not that affects anything. But Swiatek, easy win against Bencic, 2 in love. She'll play Anisimova for the first time in a Grand Slam final and the first time ever in their careers, which is weird to see that. But also, she'll be playing her first Wimbledon. So we'll see if she can win it or if Anisimova can. Tomorrow, men's final. I think Alcaraz Fritz first, then Djokovic versus Sinner. So make sure you join us for that.